Your seat has seen better days, that's for sure. What are you planning to do now?
Well, I'm gonna wind up reupholstering this just the bottom. I'm gonna start with these two bolts here, as you can see. One here, one there. Basically, it is a 15mm bolt. I never did that before. God. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so we're gonna take these two bolts off. It is a 15mm socket. Put them on here. And it's one. Two. Right now I gotta go underneath. First I'm gonna move this up. As you can see, there's a pin here. So the likelihood, oh no, it's covered. Okay, so no, I don't have to go underneath it. The bolt, you take the cover off, and it's behind the seat. I don't know if you can see that from here. Yes, you can. All right, so you can see there is the bolt there. I'm going to take off. Same identical on this side. It's just same thing. You're gonna have to take these covers off, and then the bolt is here. Basically, just putting this ratchet on so I can loosen it, and then I'll finish it off. All right, 4 bolts are out. Seat is ready to be lifted. So basically, now I'm just going to shimmy it and work it out to this side. There should be a connector, which there is. As you can see, I'm lifting, pulling. Now I got to do the connectors. All right, so I put the seat on its side. Of course, I put it on something. Now you can look, and there's a connector. So this connector, I undid the safety clip. You push that up. And now I'm gonna have to pry here with the screwdriver and pull out. I took my screwdriver, went in here, I pried this way and pulled out. That's what released the clip that's on the bottom of the seat.
Sorry, everybody. Something happened in the editing process and we missed a piece. So John's going to go back over and explain removing this plastic piece of the seat. So,
Okay.
So John, explain what you did to remove that plastic piece.
Very simple. You have a Phillips screw here.
Yep.
You just undo that.
Yep.
You have a Phillips screw here. Undo that one. And then you have one in the back, right here.
Okay.
Where my finger is.
Yep.
Piece comes off with this switch, and then you have 2 Phillips screws. You undo and let the switch stay and take your plastic piece off.
All right, great.
Take these bolts out here. I'm going to start doing the hog rings, and this is what they look like. They're like a little, basically you take a nice, thick pair of pliers like these, And you just grab them and you kind of twist and kind of work them off. And you'll see them when you look underneath. So I want to get all the hog rings off, so this way I can start lifting the upholstery off, because the other side's going to involve seeing the bolts because it's actually covered with upholstery. So I got to work on that by taking off the hog rings. Next, I took the switch, I pushed it through, pull it out of the way. Next, I am going to work towards the front, which has a clip underneath right here. Basically, I'm gonna try to unclip it from the front there. Basically, gonna it wraps around the thing and holds this in this manner. As you can see, this thing is right here. That goes onto a bar. I took my needle nose, I put them in here on an angle, and I pushed and pulled. And once I got it started, I was able to twist and pull it down. All right, so this is just all stepping stones to loosen things up to be able to get to the things in the back. All right, so the next might not be bright enough, but there's a bolt right there. I'm gonna take that one off. By taking out that bolt, I was there's only one bolt on this side. I was able to remove it, and then I was able to take off the back. You go gently backwards, and then just take it off, and then I laid it over here.
So another little editorial snafu, if you could let everybody know a little bit more about these hog clips. Hog clips are located at the bottom of the
You're gonna, once you take this
seat off,
you turn the seat upside down, you're gonna see
you're gonna see them all.
You're gonna see these things. You're gonna look for these round, they turn it round once they're bent. You're gonna look for these clips that are holding the leather going around.
All the way around, okay. And you're gonna pull them out.
And you're just gonna grab a pair of electrician pliers, you twist them and then pull. See, with the hog clips undone, plastic peak undone, I'm starting to peel back the upholstery. And as you can see, it's amazing how, you don't realize, but how things just get worn, you know? That's part of the wear process of getting in and out of the vehicle all the time. Slowly going around and just peeling upward. It's really not complicated. Here I'm gonna have to do another detachment, obviously. It's holding in back here, yeah. So, as you can see, I'm already up to this point with it being able to be removed. As you go along, I'm peeling upward. And now you see it's hooked here, right? So I use my needle nose again. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna pull down and start it and just kind of get it off. As I go on this side, we have another one of those plastic clamps, same thing. I'm gonna use the pair of needle nose, start it and unclip it. As you can see, I unclip this. Like I say, I always take my needle nose, I go in and on an angle, I just get it to go, and then you can unclip. Now I found something very interesting. There is a rod right here that I'm gonna fish through. See how it moves? You can see it's a piece of wire. So I'm gonna feed that through, and then that should detach this side. And then you work to the next side, flip it over and see if that it's probably gonna have a rod on that side also. I'm doing the same thing I did on the other side. There's a wire that goes through, that holds here. Now if you want to do this real fast, you take a utility knife and cut this, and you pull the thing off, right? And then you can feed your wire through. It becomes a lot easier. But right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed the wire through, because I haven't decided whether I'm gonna be throwing this away or not. All right, so I started from this corner, pulled it down, working my way around, you know, kind of just putting this on. You gotta kind of like push. What you do is you push the foam in. It gives you more room to, say, pull it down. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just positioning it. It goes on pretty simple. I realized that this piece here has to be hog ringed to this ring here and this ring over here. Next, I gotta try to get it to clip in the front. I'm gonna use some hog rings. Same thing with the sides. It has this clip. I'm gonna try to clip it on that. There's a wire underneath here. You have to pull and get it to clip. I got that hog ring done right there, right? So what I'm doing is you position it in this tool. This is the first time I ever used one of these. I have it in the, a start position. I go in, and then just squeeze this, and it actually cuts right through, pokes through that, and then you can tighten. And this will keep the middle down on the seat. So we got the middle hog ringed. And I'm gonna work on the sides. I'm gonna put this wire back. The wire goes through here, and then I can hog ring a couple of hog rings. Well, this will keep the sides down, and that's got to be done on this side also. As you can see, the wire has to go in, and then you're gonna hog ring this to this. I put a hog ring right there. I'm gonna do another one right here. Basically, you just push it through. You position it in, well, first you position it in the drawers. See how I positioned it? You just go right through there, and you hook the wire and you squeeze. So through, hook wire, and squeeze. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I haven't decided yet. Now, I turn the unit upside down. I make sure all the foam is in a good position, because it's amazing how it started folding underneath here, and if I would have started, say, clamping this, it would not have been correct. So I'm making sure all the foam is sitting in its right spot. Now I'm going to start pulling, and see these things here has to catch on here. So this one's going to have to catch. I'm going to pull as hard as I can and get it to grab there. It has to grab here on the side. Has to grab, this one's unusual on this side. I got to figure out, I might have to use hog rings on this side, because it's different than, say, from factory, but I'll figure it out. But I'll let you know what I do. I took these pliers, I pulled and started it, and once you start it, you go as far as you can, and then you pull again with these pliers, and I was able to get it to snap right in. So it snapped on that wire. So next I am going to try and do this front one. I cut a hole, and basically it's under the seam, because this has to go up higher. The switch has to go through. So basically this switch has to go like this. So okay. So now I got to do something about fastening this side up a little better. Right now, I'm just hanging the plastic piece here. I'm gonna start putting back the switch on the unit. I'm gonna just tighten these screws, and that's ready for install. These pieces are definitely not the same. So what I had to do is I did a little hole here, a little hole here. I'm just tying a tie. I did a tie wrap over here, and I'm going onto it. Another thing you could do is you could run a wire and try to hook on them, but I'm dissatisfied with this because this is all going to be covered anyway, so you're not even going to see any of this stuff. It's just pretty much you want to secure your seat so you know it doesn't start popping off at any point. So now it's secured. So it's secured here. I might try to do something to get it secured back here, but also when the cover is on, by the screws going through it, some are going to go through this. It's going to keep it in place too. My next move, after looking it over, is that I have to make these holes, this one and this one, so this way that mechanism can bolt on. Start with an X, and you can kind of look. The good thing is everything's going to be covered here, so you don't have to be exact either, but so less is always better. You don't want to do a lot cutting. I'm just going to cut an X here, just to get an idea where it is. Because once you cover everything, you can't really tell where holes. Alright, so the hole is right here. I suggest you get a nice sharp blade. This way you're not fighting, cutting this stuff. So that's hole number one. So basically, when I put the side on, one bolt goes here. Now next, we have another hole, which is down here. This one I'm going to feel from underneath. See if I can find exactly where it is. Okay, so it's right here. So basically, same thing. You're going to do an X. An X. And here it is. So basically, you can, like I say, you don't have to be too picky because we're going to have the plastic cover it. So basically when I'm putting it on, I'm going to pull this down too. This will help, you know, position and keep everything the way it's supposed to be too. Alright, so there you go. That's, the holes are made. So, now what I'm going to do is try to start these bolts. Alright, one started. I go to the next one. I'm going to do this one next. Same thing. Just going to push. There we go. Alright, so we're in position. I'm going to tighten them up. Going to hit it with the gun. Boom, back. All right, now I'm going to go to this side. As you can see, it's covered at the moment, so I gotta see what it entails. But basically, this bolt goes in here. So basically, I gotta go down here. Gotta find the hole. Might have to move the chair around a little bit. Okay, there we go, I'm in. Alright, so basically you just take it, kind of move it around, push the pin, and then tighten her up. And that's it. Push this up here. Same thing. And there you go. That is a completed seat. You want to know something? I'm actually pretty happy with it. Find the first hole, use that as a guide, and then go and do the other ones. Alright, so I got the plastic in position. Alright, unfortunately I had trouble with my phone being in the heat. So hopefully you got, I'm going to put a screw here. Well, first you position your switch in, kind of push it, and then you start this screw first because this one's easy to find, right? Then you got to kind of move it around and it catches, and you screw that one in, and there's one in the back. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt the seat, and then I'm going to put back the plug. That's step number one. I'm putting the seat back. So I'm going to go like this, all right? I'm going to tilt. Plug. I don't know if you can see. That's once you plug it in, you push that down. All right, I have the plug in, so now click it. Now I'm going to flip the seat. position. There you go. You just basically, you match up all the holes. See the holes in the back. I'm gonna do the front ones first. So it's pretty much, that's, to me, this is the simple part of the job. It's really not that complicated. So I'm gonna do the reverse of what I did taking out. So I'm gonna put the bolts in right now. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna test the seat first before I put the bolts back in. Basically, just want to make sure that your switch is in correctly, which I believe it is. No sense bolting it all up and finding out that, you know, nothing works. Okay? And that works. That tilt works. Alright, so that's good enough. That's pretty much wasn't absolutely perfect. One might have been not working on one motor, but... Alright, so I'm going to put the bolts in, and that's what I'm going to do next. Basically start them by hand, so we don't want to cross-thread them. Alright, so I got the two started. Those two are tight. Two in the back had a little rust on them, so I'm gonna put some oil on them. Because what will happen if I ever have to deal with the seat again? I'll just put some oil on. And as you can see, that's where the bolts are. So I took the covers off before, but now I'm gonna put a little oil on the bolts. I'm gonna buzz those in. Buzz, buzz. And those two will be done. Okay, that's good. Now I can just put the pieces back. The plastic. All right, so those just basically they slide in. So I just catch that tab there. Wait. And then put it on there. Same thing with this one. Put it in. Actually, to do it the right way, I mean, they're gonna stay anyway. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it just like that, because you know what? It's nice that you can get to them and take them off when you need be. All right, so that's it. The project is done.